Welcome back to Events by Collette, cooking with Reese and Collette. This is Reese, my sous chef, and my son. He's decided to wear his earphones today. He likes to wear them whenever we use the Ninja or the Cuisinart. However, we are going to not use it today. We'd already used it to sort of do some prep. Paciencia, Baba. Paciencia. Today, we are going to be making albondigas, or in English, meatballs. We eat a lot of ground beef in this house because of our little one. So we wanted to figure out a way to make eating ground beef a little bit more creative. So I came up with this recipe, and it also helps out with, right now especially, people are kind of hoarding meat in this pandemic that we're having. So one way to lengthen the life of any kind of meat that you have is to get creative with it, such as meatballs. Yes, our dog Rhapsody decided to visit the video today. Sí, amor. Sí, Rhapsody. See? Okay, Abby. Since Reese so anxiously wanted to do this, I will explain. We have 1 pound of ground meat, or ground beef. You could use turkey, pork, lamb. Today we decided to use beef. We also added, as you just saw, breadcrumbs. They're gluten-free breadcrumbs. In this household, we are a gluten-free household. This recipe is gluten-free and dairy-free. What you can do is you can just purchase gluten-free breadcrumbs if you'd like, or you could take just regular old bread and put it in the Ninja or the Cuisinart in the food processor, and there you go. Well, Reese is a little hungry, so he's gonna go ahead and snack there while we finish this up. All right, what is next? You can either put onions or shallots.
Yo necesito comer.
Okay, tú puedes comer. As most of you probably know, when you add a shallot, it actually makes the recipe a little more sweet. I don't have any shallots with me today, so we're going to be using an onion. I either use half an onion or 1 shallot. We put this in the food processor. When you mash it up, mince it, it's a little bit more easy to work with. So we went ahead and did that previously. Put this in the dishwasher. And we have 2 medium cloves of garlic. I went ahead and minced these out previously also with the food processor, just makes it a little bit easier. We actually used 4 small cloves, which are pretty much equivalent to 2 medium cloves. Add that. Sí, amore. Ayúdate. If you will excuse me for one moment, my son needs help with his food. And next, the fun part about cooking. Spices always make things taste different depending on which spices you use in any recipe. It makes it either taste savory or sweet, which are polar opposites. We are actually going to be using some savory and some sweet today. When we always cook with many different spices, we always like to sing the De Colores, our Spanish song. So today we are going to be using cumin, cinnamon, coriander, and my own little mix of tarragon, basil, parsley, and what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh, and oregano. We're going to be using a 1/2 cup of the combination of those four, however you want to do it, if you want to add more parsley than tarragon, more basil than oregano, however you want to do it, it'll just kind of change the taste slightly. But we had just happened to have more parsley today. During this pandemic right now, it is tough to get certain ingredients, so we went ahead and added a little more parsley. So we're going to have albondigas that taste a little more parsley today. We're gonna dump these in.
Mamá,
Sí, amore. Dígame.
yo quiero comer
En el video.
pues snack.
¿Cómo?
Pues snack aquí.
A ver, aquí. Okay. Okay. So in this household, we are a very worldly household. My son's placement here has all the different flags of the world. Reese will be eating our favorite combination of lentils and quinoa with homemade hummus that we made this morning, and hamburger. Afterwards, he will actually have an albondiga also. Okay, and the next of the spices, which most of you probably have in your home already, salt and pepper. We prefer to use pink Himalayan salt because it has less microplastics in it, but you can just use your regular table salt. It's just salt and fresh ground pepper to taste. So add more or less as you see fit. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and combine all of these together before we go ahead and add our egg, which is going to make everything stick together. If you haven't started cooking with eggs, it is something that binds, especially when you don't have gluten in your diet. It is a binder.
Binder.
Bananas are also a binder if you're having trouble finding eggs right now.
Binder.
Sí, amore. And avocado is actually a binder also.
Avocado.
Seems that bananas and avocados are easy to come by right now, but eggs a little more difficult, along with meat. Sí, amore. ¿Sí? ¿Estás disfrutando tu comida? Okay. We had a big bicycle ride this morning, so we exerted a lot of energy and sweated a lot. It's about 90 degrees here, but it feels like 100. Yes, we are entering summertime here in Austin, Texas, where you basically live in the pool or live in the air conditioning. Okay. Last but not least, the egg. I'm going to crack it open. Here in this household, we only use pasture-raised eggs. That is a choice that we have made here for humanity of chickens and hens. But you can just go ahead and use any egg, any large egg that you would like to use. Sí, Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Sí.
Ecuador did that. Ecuador.
And if you don't already know this, whenever you do cook with eggs, please wash your hands immediately afterwards and before you touch anything else, because they can get you very sick if just by chance you happen to get that one. You happen to get that one egg that has salmonella in it. Sí, amor. Ecuador. Sí, Ecuador es en la mitad del mundo, papá. Para dividir sur y norte. Sí. El clima es distinta, es al revés. En el sur y el norte. Cuando está verano en el sur, está invierno en el norte. Yes, we are learning about the different climates in the different hemispheres on top of the equator and below the equator. Homeschooling is so much fun.
Orejeras.
Sí, orejeras. Okay, so we've added our egg.
Albondigas.
And as I mentioned before, the egg is a binder. You can see that we are ready to form our balls. I would recommend about 1 to 2 tablespoons per ball. You will be getting about 26 balls out of this. They're easy just to, right when they're done, easy just to pick up and eat, or you can add to pasta if you'd like. Sí, amore. Dígame. Sí, vamos a cocinar en la estufa. ¿Sí?
We have a
¿Listo?
oil.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our safflower oil to the stovetop pan. Sí, el pollo. And we're going to go ahead and cook these things right up. So we went ahead and put 4 tablespoons of safflower oil in our pan. I put it on high just to really get things going, but I would turn it down to about medium high. Be careful that you don't burn your hands. As we know, hot oil can burn you and it does not feel good. As I mentioned before, we're doing about 1 to 2 tablespoon size balls.
Círculos.
Sí, círculos. And we'll go ahead and just put a few in. You don't want to overcrowd them because you have to flip them over. I would say about 3 minutes on each side. But you know, every stove is different, so go ahead and check. When you flip it over, if you feel that it's not done, if it's not browned, then it needs to be cooked a bit more. We're going to put our timer on here for about 2 minutes because it was already about a minute for some of them. As I mentioned before, when you're working with raw egg and also raw meat, please wash your hands immediately afterwards. You do not want to get sick. Yeah, more.
Albondigas.
The albondigas.
Whoa, Dad. Whoa. Whoa, Dad.
Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm going to turn down a little bit more. They are cooking. So I'm using a porous spoon here. Helps with keeping the oil somewhat contained. You have to have a top. If you have a splash guard, you can use that too. But do not trap the air fully in here because you will get a oil explosion. Everybody's here.
Daddy, a hug.
Okay, they are almost done. They are cooking quickly. What we're going to do is prepare a plate with a paper towel on it so the oil can be soaked up when they're drying and cooling. Go ahead in session really quickly. Oh, and here we have it. As you can see, the oil is popping off. So if you want to have them less brown, by all means, go ahead and do that. Just put it on a lower heat. But we prefer a little more tardier in this family. Okay, and that's it. We are going to make the other meat, the other meat in here. But we will let you go. Thank you again for joining us. Again, this is a dish that you can use right now with all of the shopping problems that we have going on with the coronavirus. It's a great way to lengthen the life of your meat. Sí, la enfermedad. Sí. It's dairy-free, gluten-free. If you want to go ahead and use different spices, by all means. If you're not a fan of tarragon or you can't find tarragon, just add more parsley. Thank you again, and we will be posting this on YouTube and Instagram and our website on eventsbycollette.com if you haven't started following us already. We do have other videos of other recipes which we are making throughout the year. Thank you so much. Ciao! Reese, ciao!
Daddy, I want to see it.